Hi guys, so I asked on my spam account if I should just leave my YouTube to just tea updates or if I should make a video on how I came out. Literally all the comments said that they wanted a video on how I came out, so I thought I would tell that story. When I was a girl, I identified as a lesbian. I knew for like a month or two before I told my parents, and I told my mom first. I told her in the car actually, because I don't know, I feel like telling important stuff to people in the car is easier. You're not facing each other, so you don't have to deal with the awkward eye contact. You're just sitting next to each other. I was still terrified, it's just a terrifying thing. My mom is bi, and they have gay friends, and they have trans friends, and so I knew they wouldn't be like, you can't be like that, but I'm their child, so it's different. And I was just like, I think I like girls, I'm gay. She just that's great, you do you, we're here to support you. She told my dad, I didn't tell my dad. Well, I was planning on telling him, but she got inside and she walked into her room and was like, Tony's gay. I was like, okay. And they hugged me and they were like, we love you, we're here for you, Coming out on Instagram, so I just posted a little meme, not a meme. It was two girls and they were facing each other, and they were just holding each other's faces or kissing. I don't remember what they were doing in the picture. I don't remember what the caption was. Honestly, that was so long ago. I don't remember the caption. It was something. It wasn't a long paragraph. It was literally 2 sentences long. It was I like girls, or it was I'm gay, something like that, or it was me. I don't know. I don't really remember what the reaction was. People were just kind of okay. Well, a lot of people were confused. As I can remember, I was the first person to come out as LGBT in my grade, because we were 7th grade. That wasn't really known. Obviously, there were other people, but no one had really come out and been yo, I'm gay. And so I was just I wasn't gonna stand up in front of the school and be I'm gay. So I posted on Instagram. Obviously, not everyone in the school has an Instagram, so not everyone knew, but word got around. And yeah, it was weird at first because old boyfriends were did I turn you gay? Rumors went around that people turned me gay, or that I was just doing this for attention. People were pretty accepting, and the people who weren't, I was just kind of don't talk to me. People probably are wondering okay, well, your parents are supportive. How do I come out to my not supportive parents? Or I don't know if my parents are supportive. Or they're not supportive of that community because they talk shit. If you're scared that when you tell them they're gonna kick you out of the house. If you're scared that when you tell them they're gonna hurt you, that's when you wait. That's when you wait till you're of a legal age to move out of the house. Because then you get your ass out of there. You don't stay. But you also don't want to hide yourselves, you don't want to be yeah, I'm straight, but you're not. That's not comfortable. That's not fun. If you don't know how your parents are going to react, plan it out, come out to your friends first, because coming out to your friends and having more support and more supportive people around you to hold you up and be there for you if things go wrong, that's so much easier. It gives you so much more confidence to come out to your parents. You come out to your friends first. That's number one. If you know your siblings are supportive and you don't know if your parents are, come out to your siblings first. It's better to have a big community than no one to hold you and hold you up, no one to give you confidence, no one to help you if things go wrong, You don't want to hide yourself from your parents, but you don't want to put yourself in danger. Not a parent would hurt their kid, but some parents are like that. Some parents are horrible where they're my son or daughter or whatever isn't gay. Get out of my house, or they deny it, or it's a phase, all that shit. No, that's not okay. You don't do that to your child. Here's another long story. So this is how I came out as transgender to my parents. I was in 7th grade. I went to this gay straight alliance at our school, and I learned the term transgender, and it immediately clicked in my mind, all the things were that's me. Because I had been confused, I had been questioning it ever since I was little. Before I came out as gay, when I was little, if you knew me in elementary school, I never wore girly clothes. I literally wore long t-shirts and boy shorts. In middle school, the only reason I dressed how I did in 6th grade was because I wanted to fit in. I saw other people and I was I can't wear this to middle school. That's not normal. That's not socially acceptable. So I literally looked at what other girls were wearing, went to the store and bought it. I didn't like it. I hated it. I literally put it on, went to school, and I was like, felt like I was in like a costume. I was like, 7th grade rolled around and I was like, you know what? Like, fuck everyone. Like, I'm gonna wear what I want. I'm gonna express myself. So obviously, I went through my emo phase. People liked me. No one talked to me though. You know, I was intimidating. I probably wasn't because I was this tall. Just kidding. I was like this tall. 7th grade, I was in GSA. That's what it's called. Gay Straight Alliance, GSA. I went, I heard the term transgender. This one kid was like, I'm a boy, like I was born a girl. They were like, I go by a different name. I go by he, him pronouns. And I was like, hold up. Can you expand on that? I was like, so intrigued. I was like it was calling my name. I was like, hello, I think this is me, like, hello. So I went home and I researched it and I read up on it and I wrote notes. Like the little nerd I was, I wrote notes. This was literally like December. It was around Christmas time. This is a big controversy for me. I can't remember if I came out in January or March. I don't know when I came out. It was either January or March, beginning of 2015. Here's the story of how I came out. I sit my parents down at the kitchen table. It was me, my mom, my dad, my little brother. My older brother was at home. We were eating dinner. I don't remember the exact words I said. I'm just gonna elaborate. That's not what that means. I'm gonna wing it. That's the word. I go, Mom, Dad, I have something to tell you. I'm transgender. I want to be a boy. I would like to be called Tony. And my mom goes, still looking at her food. You can tell she hadn't processed it yet. She goes, you know, we'll love you and support you no matter what. The typical. My dad, we had these little talks we do. At night, we talk about our day, we talk about a random topic, stuff going on in our lives. He goes, you know, we've been talking. Why didn't you tell me you were feeling like this? Like, why didn't you, like, talk to any of us about this? Like, and I just went, I don't know, like, but in my head, I was like, I'm not just gonna talk to you about me feeling something like I'm a boy. Like, that's not something you just walk up to your parents and you go, I think I'm a boy. I was obviously very scared to tell them. I wasn't, like, it was a totally different scared to coming out as gay. Sexuality and gender are two different things. Who you like and who you are is two different things. I was obviously scared to tell them I'm gay, but I know my mom's bi, so she wasn't gonna care. My parents are both cisgender. Cisgender meaning you're born a girl, you stay a girl. You're born a boy, you stay a boy. My little brother was like, okay, Tony. And he actually handled this really well. He started calling me Tony right off the bat. Like, Tony had been my name for all my life. He was just like, okay, Tony. Like, he didn't care. He was 11 years old because I was 13 years old at the time. He was just like, okay. Like, it didn't mean anything to him. But later that night, my older brother was doing the dishes. I remember this so vividly because it hurt me. I know he didn't mean it because now he's so supportive. He loves me with all his heart. Like, he calls me Tony, he calls me he. He's ready to beat up anybody who fucks with me. Like, he's almost 21, but like, he's obviously not gonna beat up a high schooler, but like, metaphorically. So I go to the kitchen and I explain to him, and he goes, that's cool, but I don't think I can call you Tony. Remember, he calls me Tony now. It took him 6 to 7 months to call me Tony. That's over half a year. Like, obviously he called me Tony sometimes, but to actually start calling me Tony on a regular day basis, it took him about 6 to 7 months. He was calling me my old name all the time, and I didn't correct him because I was like, it takes time. Like, the first few months, obviously everyone did. Like, it took time. It took processing. It took a long time. That's when the name situation comes in. My parents did not like the name Tony. I haven't told anyone outside of my friends this. They hated it. They were like, we have a Griffin, we have an Echo, we have an Adam, and we have a Mai. Those are unique names. And then there's a Tony. This argument went on for a month or two. We would yell at each other, fight. I was like, I'm Tony. And they didn't get it. Because obviously they didn't understand. Now they're so understanding. They're so into the community. They all completely understand. My name is Tony. Obviously, I won this battle. It got to the point where when they would call me for dinner, they would say my birth name and I wouldn't come. I was like, that, you can't call me. Like, that's not my name. I'm not coming to dinner if you're going to say that. So they'd be yelling it and yelling it and yelling it. And I'd just be sitting in my bed like this. The one thing that changed their minds was I sat them down and I go, without fighting, no yelling, I just go, you know when you walk past a mirror and you look in it and you go, oh, hi, that's me. When I walked past a mirror, I looked and I go, oh, Tony, and just kept walking. Like, I saw me, I saw Tony. I did not see old me, I did not see old name. I saw me, Tony. I told it to my parents, and I guess something clicked in their brains, and they're like, wow, that's him. We're gonna have to deal with it, or we're gonna have to get used to it. So, coming out to my peers at school, I posted a picture. The caption was this long-ass paragraph about how I didn't feel like a girl, I was a boy. Those had a lot more explaining to do. I explained that I'd like to go by Tony, except I spelled it T-O-N-I, because I was too damn scared to go all the way in. I was too scared to jump in with Tony, T-O-N-Y, a specific boy's name, boy's spelling. I was too scared, so I spelled it the feminine way, T-O-N-I. Everyone was supportive, but if they weren't, they didn't comment. Obviously, I have a shit ton of people who don't like me. All the comments were like, we love you, Tony. Like, they all used Tony. They were like, we love you, Tony. We're here for you, Tony. Like, everyone was okay with it. And the people who weren't, they didn't comment. I didn't get shit for it until 8th grade. No one in 7th grade said anything to me. People were nice to me. They called me Tony. They called me he. Well, they tried to. Obviously, there was people who didn't support me, talk shit. Happens in high school, will happen for the rest of my life. It's life. All I'm saying is, if you're coming out as transgender to your parents, like I said before, come out to your friends first. Like, it's a lot easier. Like, obviously my parents are supportive because I'm on testosterone. I'm getting top surgery when I'm 16, I'm 15. I'm very supportive by most of the people I know. But if your parents aren't supportive, like I said at the beginning of the video, wait until you know it's okay, or do a process, think it through, stuff like that. Basically, if you have more questions or you need advice or you want to talk to me about your plan on coming out, DM me on Instagram, tweet me, direct message me on Twitter, Snapchat me, all of that. I'll put in the description my GoFundMe, all the ways you can contact me, stuff like that. I really do hope this helped people. I hope if you're planning on coming out to your parents as like your sexuality, your gender, I hope it goes well. I obviously hope for the best. If your parents are supportive and you need like something to call, I'll put helpline numbers in the description too. Like if their dad, like, or their mom or their parents or just their legal guardian doesn't accept them and treats them like shit for being who they are, it takes a big toll on you. Just know that it's going to be okay. But just know that, like, you have a huge community. There's groups on Facebook. There's groups all over social media. There's helplines. There's even groups you can go to, like, physically. My next video will be my 2-month tea update, which is February 10th. So it's coming up in a few weeks. It's now very dark outside, which is why the lighting has changed. But make sure you check out my channel and my videos. And I'll see you next time.